Good morning, everyone. Today I am at DG Bar Ranch for an interview with Willy Arts. They have a fantastic business that they run for many years now, and it will be very interesting to do a barn interview here, we figured, to get to know more about stallions, stallion selection, stallion raising, breeding, everything that Willy and his team do. Yes, let's get going. Hello guys, we're here at DG Bar Ranch. This is Willy Arts and this is Anna Beal. She is the board member of KWPN-NA and she's also here today with me doing an interview and with Willy Arts and his team. Hey Willy.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for coming and thank you for giving us the opportunity to show our horses and a little bit of our plan and goal that we have and business model and what we have done over the last 35 years.
It will be very interesting. I have lots of questions for you later, Willy. So who are you standing next to right now?
Right now we're standing in front of El Primo. He's the 5-year-old, now 6-year-old stallion by Bordeaux, Contango. El Primo and Koning are both stallions that have been licensed over the last couple of years, and so I'm very pleased about them and how they progress and how they've developed, and offspring is looking very good. So it's
okay. I hope to see more of them later. Willy, let's walk along and tell me something about what we have here.
We're here in the main barn. It's a barn of 26 stalls, and here we have our mainly our show horses, the sales horses, horses in training. Yeah, and the mares and foals are in the other barn, and when they're foaling, and where we have the young horses. Yeah, most of the time here in California they can stay outside. So, so that is mainly the barn and the training barn. So, if you walk to the barn here, here we are by Mescalero. That is Sandy's Harper's stallion by Apache Vivaldi. He's now currently has become a gelding and will be proceeding his career as a sport horse. Yeah, and then we come by Malachi. Malachi is a 5-year-old gelding. He won the futurity here in California. He's a half brother to El Primo. He's by Furstenball out of the Contango Mare, and so winner of the CDS futurity, and is getting ready for the FEI 5-year-olds, and so he's sold all the horses in training, and our owners are very happy and pleased that he did so well last year. Yeah. This is a 6-year-old gelding by Governor Craig C, and so he's a horse that's being prepared for the FEI 6-year-olds, and is also a sales horse.
Did you breed him?
No.
Okay.
He has imported. Yeah.
Okay.
So here we have Lyric. Lyric is pure mare. She's now 6 years old. Is Al Capone competitor, and she's pure elite. Did high bob. She has 2 foals, 1 foal by Koning, 1 foal by El Primo, and now we'll proceed her sport career with Ashlyn. She's now 6, so hopefully we'll have her ready for the FEI 6-year-olds. It's a little bit our business model where we have young mares that we produce and keep, that we breed them when they're 3 and 4, and we still do the IBOB, but then we continue the training so that by the time they're 6 or 7, they can go on as a sport horse and be able to sell them like when they're going like 3rd level, so the training is not behind, and so that is just a little bit in order to keep the rotation going, and that you don't end up with too many horses and also too many old brood mares, and you cannot use your young horses to keep improving your breeding program. Yeah, so it's.
But some you sell as foals, so some, right? Definitely. You do either full sales or when they're going under saddle and everything, or
either way. But maybe in the bears, everything is for sale. Number 1. Yeah, and so there's, but at the same time, yeah, you keep going, and you need to keep your own supply at a mind. We with our people we have, you know, the family, we can handle, and the facility, we can handle eight foals nicely. Yeah, with the barn has 8 stalls, and then they're all in the same barn, and so that makes it very nice. And we feel that if 8 foals is not enough, more is not going to make it better. Yeah, so we all know it all boils down to quality, yeah, and not quantity. So this is also a half sister for Primo. She's same story. She's 7, upcoming 8 now, and is Eidicus Contango. She also had 2 foals, and now is getting ready for the show season, and will be available. So also Keur Elite Mare, and so anybody who's looking for a nice competitive horse and wants a brood mare later, yeah, or even during campaigning for embryos, yeah. Super Mare line, her mother has produced 4 Keur Elite mares and a licensed stallion and 2 Grand Prix horses, and then and she's very talented too for the upper level movement, so it's very interesting here. This is 6-year-old gelding by Johnson Sandro and Doruto, so it's related to our other mare line that we have, the Bria line, yeah, and Columbria was the horse that I bought on the East Coast. He was a full sister to Barbria and Galbria, so it's related to 007 and Don Olymbrio, and so all those stallions, and so especially Doruto, very close in the mother line, is good, and so this is a very talented young gelding, and is also a sales horse at the moment, and but the sales horses too, we ride them, we campaign them, yeah, and it's a horse that when the right person comes along. Yeah, so we mainly have like the 2-3 mare lines that we have that we kind of build up everything
with. Yeah.
So the gelding that's in training, 6-year-old. Yeah, and here we have this is Judy's horse, so this Bordeaux painted black, and comes out of the same mare line as Koning. Yeah, the horse is 6, upcoming 7 now, and no, it's coming 6. Sorry, yeah, and doing super character. Judy rides it, also Ashlyn brings the horse along, and for the higher levels, and she follows along. So it's very good temperament, and I think that's what Bordeaux is known for, yeah, the character, rideability. Yeah, and here this one you'll see later with Ashlyn Mabria, now 5-year-old mare by Totelas, Eidicus, and then Kraxi, Valeska, and Valeska is one of the little bit the pride of the barn in the way of we bred, and she did very good in the young horses, and she's been a very good producer. We've had 4 Keur Elite mares by her, out of her, and so we've been very successful with her, and like I always said, I'm never going to sell this one. But,
yeah, because she was your favorite, you always said.
Who started, and everything is for sale. So,
yeah.
But we sold up, but stayed in the family, so it's only 5 miles down the road, and they've been very happy with her, and she has produced by us mainly mares, and over there only has produced foals. So it's, you never know, but yeah, they are doing very well, and later on you will see another 3-year-old, and but that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles, you know. You never know. Yeah.
No.
So, it's a horse we bought from Jack House, so it's by Totelas, and it's a half brother to her horse that she showed in the FEI young horse class by Kitalis, I think his name is, and Very talented young horse, coming 4 years old now. So, and this is the one everybody has seen on the video. Yeah,
it's my favorite.
2-year-old by Koning, or Yanda, and we'll present him. We'll show him later on again, but he's been developing really nice, and look forward to showing him, and look forward to really see what the future holds for him. You know, he's I think a lot of potential in all 3 gates, but like I said, I think the best is to see it later on for yourself. And upcoming horse which would have been presented if we had a curing this year, is by Don Schufro, and then Blue Horse Sack, 007 Jazz, comes out of the Wendy line, and it's a horse that is born in the US. I was able to buy the horse in utero, so I heard about the breeding and the pedigree, and the foal that was coming was available if it was a colt, so that was for me a good option to try that. And after I seen the foal born, then I was also be able to buy his full brother, and he's been competing very successful as a 4-year-old, and will do the 5-year-old, and this one also will do the 4-year-olds. But it's I think a very talented horse, and has a top character, and shows definitely rideability that his pedigree really secures, you know. So he lives up to his expectation. If you read the pedigree and you see the horse and the movement and the rideability, then the horse matches the pedigree. So that's always nice, and that.
I'm looking forward to see him go, because you're going to ride him.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So this is the 3-year-old Benicio out of Velasca. He's now 3, and so he'll also be presented next year. He's now just starting his work, lunching and stuff, and so gives us plenty of time to get him ready for September. We rather start him early, take the time, and that you can do what's right for the horse, or not that it is
not rushed.
I have 2 months, and now he has to be ready. Yeah, start early enough, and then you can give a little break in between or whatever, you know. But then, so that is usually what we try to do, and you will see the 2-year-old knows already just a little bit, just lunging, but just basic understanding of a little bit of work, and that makes it nice, and that way you can handle also more young horses, and that you don't put them all on a package from, oh, now we have 5 3-year-olds to get ready for the curing, and they're all green, and you're pushing. If you start earlier, then you can easily do 5, but you space it a little bit, And obviously, we're fortunate that we're in close circle, We have a breeding, you have our own pastures, you do our own starting, you have your sales and everything. So it's you can schedule things a little bit easier, and but that is, I think, a very strong point that we have, that we can do it all in house, And we also. I always say that the most important time is for a horse is from conception to 5, from what kind of mare, nutrition of the mare, and then when the foal is born, how they've been handled, then how the foal grows up, and the nutrition, and that you have a strong young horse, how they get started, how they get accepting the bit, and the trust you have in a horse, and then by the time they're 5 and they understand collection, and then you have a horse that's set for the future, and that people can be happy with to continue on with training, and you really sell a horse that you can stand behind, and so that's what we do. So this is gilding by Rock Forever. From we had presented him as a stallion, as a 3-year-old, so now he's from a client, so Hollywood. He bred 1 mare, and there is 1 foal by him out of Dementa, who's also again related to Koning, and very nice foal. It's a really good riding horse. So this 3-year-old filly by Henky, out of Yanda, so it's a half sister to Pharaoh, and as a foal she had like 85 points for movement, so it's a very good mover, and unfortunately she did not get a foal last year, so hopefully we get a bred this year, but she was just kind of young. This is Betty's horse, older horse, but very safe, reliable, and this one is Gamelia.
Oh yeah.
He's not a horse, so she was the winner of the FBI, of the Gert van der Veen as a 4-year-old, and she has been shown as a young horse by Ashland, and then she had a couple foals, and then I rode her a couple of years to same thing as the other ones to get her ready and say, okay, we maybe need to sell her, and I liked her so much that I said, well, we'll keep her for breeding, so we bred her again, and now Caitlin bought the horse, so now the mare will stay in-house anyway, and she can continue the showing, so the horse is ready to do 4th level, and the horse will be, stay here, and she can enjoy the horse. So for us, it's very important that the mares are ridden here.
Yeah.
And, so there is a Dream Boy out of Colombia, so it's direct out of the Colombia mare, and is also from a client now, but really nice horse, super character. Dream Boy, Vivaldi speaks for itself. So that's a little bit what we have.
Yeah.
And, so it's a variety in age and riding. Yeah.
And we're going to meet your team later, and then you're also going to ride some horses for us, right?
Standing here already.
Hey, Aislinn.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you for helping us today with this barn interview.
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your role here in at DG Bar?
Well, here I am the granddaughter of Tony and Betty, so I grew up here, and family business, so we all help each other out, but I mainly ride and train the horses, and all under Willy's tutelage, of course, and so.
And we're going to see you ride later.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Gonna ride later. 8 months pregnant right now.
Yep.
So, but still going.
Awesome.
Love it, so can't stop.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll watch you later, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
We in the Mare and Foal barn. These stalls are a little bit bigger over there. These are 14 by 18, and in the summertime the Mare and Foals are in here. In the wintertime, we pair up the foals so that they are 2 and 2, so that they and then between the walls they're open so they can socialize a little bit. So, but in the wintertime we also use it for younger horses and just riding horses. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Also, we have the breeding and collection we do in the back here, and so we come there to that point pretty soon. So there is a Koning Gierling then for foal from last year, Koning Winton, and then 007, and then Contango. Yeah, and these are all full bred. So there is Sir Sinclair, Idicus, and then. Contango, so it's Santina. So, that is 3-year-old for Romance, Idicus, Contango. So the mothers from these 2 horses are full sisters. And then here, that is Gaudi, there you go. Yeah.
Out of which mare is this?
Gaudi, this one was not bred, but this one was bred by best poodle, but the mother is by numero uno. And the mother was like as a 3-year-old the champion of the 3-year-old jumpers.
Oh, interesting.
So then here
Your 2 babies?
The foals, yeah.
Yeah.
Here the bay is the one that was second in the foal
Futurity?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's actually foal that you have together with camera. Yeah, we'll talk about it here in a minute. So, but that is the coning, and then times the acid, gas, and then Valeska, of Eidicus Valeska. Yeah. This is a coning out of Gaembria. That is the Bellissimo mare out of Valeska. And so that's sort of related. Here we have the black one is the third one, third place foal in the
Futurity?
Futurity. So he is coning and or she coning and Julia, and is now owned by Sandy Harper. And that is the Primo foal or the Lyric, the mare you introduced earlier.
Oh yeah.
The Alcacon. So now we have everybody here. So here, here's Tamara. So Tamara is the youngest daughter from Tony and Betty. So so she helps with starting the young ones here. Especially now, Ashlyn is a little bit
Pregnant?
pregnant, so it's not 100%
Little
safe
bit
to put her
pregnant.
on a 3-year-old. So, but so the Tamara stepped up to do that this year, and that's been going really well. And also we have Amber, who's Ashlyn's sister. Yeah, and Amber, but you can talk to her. She does not ride, but she also mainly works in handling the horses, walker, turnout, feeding, foals in and out, and all the stuff that needs to be done. So so very responsible and keeps an eye on all the
Everything.
horses.
I try.
And then, yeah, so there is Judy. You know, Judy has been a long time friend and part of the family here, the Digibar family, and she also owns the mare that
Yeah,
we
we
talked
saw
about.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, and there we have Kelly. Kelly is new to the group, so she just started, and so I look forward to work with that. And then Caitlin, there you go. Most people know Caitlin also already, and so but Caitlin is yeah, full time and married to Michael. I have to say this correctly here. The grandson of Tony and Betty. There you go.
There you go, really.
So, and Caitlin does handle the breeding, the shipping, the semen, and do that. Also veterinarian checking mares, and so that is her job. Also keeping track of the shoeing list. So every Tuesday we have the horse shoer here, so she makes sure we get all the horses on the rotation, and so everybody has a little bit of
Own tasks.
yeah, responsibilities and tasks, and Elizabeth is not here, but she does more the office, and she takes care of feeding grain, and but does the billing and all that stuff. And if they all do good, I have to do nothing.
Just ride horses. Yeah. And Willy, can you tell me something about your business model? Because you told me that before.
Well, the business model I think is clear. You know, we breed and then we race horses and compete. We have 3 of us on, yeah, camera hopefully will start back up. So then the 4 of us are competing. So that is part of the promotion and getting the young horses started and going. And but then part of it also is that they all have the chance of opportunity that we started already, yeah, years ago with Tony and Betty, that if they all could have a mare, interest in it, and have mare, so that they can be raise a foal, and part of the foal is, or half the foal is then there, and as part of being, yeah, doing the extra, going the extra mile in doing the daily work. And we all know that you cannot be on an hourly deal in this, so it's all part of to make the whole picture work and to develop your interest, your eye, so to have part interest in the foal, and then you get a foal, you get a yearling, so you can just kind of build a little bit your own little thing, and so that's, I think, been working productive, and you learn that it's not always easy, and it's not all gold that shines, you know. There are ups and downs, but that's for every breeder, every rider, yeah. But but that's what we do, and we work together, and everybody also have their own family responsibilities. So it's but whenever there's always somebody picks up where needed, and I think what's also strong for us is that if we go to a horse show or there is a clinic, that you can leave and everything that continues on going, and it's safe, and everything what happens would be handled the same as you were here, So that is a something that makes it a lot easier to go, instead of that you have to organize that every time different, and so that's so it's been I think it's a unique business, and but all together we make it work, and everybody plays a role, and without like everything else, the chain is only as strong as the weakest link, so everybody is just as important in order to make it work.
Pharaoh is 2-year-old stallion. I think most of you will remember he was in the yearling futurity winner. He's by Koning out of a Gelders Mare, and the Gelders Mare is very interestingly bred because he is three generations of Gelders horse, and then behind that are 2 generations of thoroughbred sires. So it gives the Gelderlander a little bit more refinement, and still you see it's a 2-year-old stallion, super character, that the Gelderlander is known for. And then Koning obviously gave him the size, the length of the body, longer legs, and more light-footed movement, so that we can see later. So if you want to hold him.
Yeah, because I would like to ask you, Willy, like when you see a young colt, like a firstborn colt, and how do you select, like if you think, at what point can you see like that he has potential to be like maybe a stallion prospect?
Well, it's always hard to tell, but I think what's first important is you need to have a mare line that has performance in the mare line, and a mare line that you like yourself, and that you say, okay, that's where what your breeding goal is. You have to have a breeding goal, and we are very fortunate in that we had the opportunity here at DigiBar to have that long lasting opportunity to keep horses, breed horses, and you have, like from Velasca and some of the other mares, 3-4 generations of young ones, so you learn a lot, you get way more familiar with the horses, so your breeding goal becomes more and more narrow and closer to your ideal, what you like. And so that is it's a privilege, and I'm very thankful for that I'm given that opportunity to develop that, and that's but when you see a young foal and you see when is a stallion prospect, that is obviously first the horse has to be there himself, has to be an outstanding foal, and very correct in legs and good feet. Needs to be a horse that has the modern type, rectangle type. The mother line has to be very good, because that will never change. And if there is no sport or horses that are competing in the sport, then it becomes very hard. And then the rest needs to be what you like yourself, and movement is very important. And it's not always the bigger mover. The bigger mover is the better mover. We all know that. We have seen it through the years now, that if you look at the Grand Prix at international competitions, it's not the biggest movers that win. It's the ones that have the right ability, have the desire to do it, have the ability to collect, and the stamina, the character to work hard and do it all the time. From all disciplines. Compared to a jumper, a dressage horse works way harder. A jumper competes in a minute, and a dressage horse at Grand Prix level has to be in top shape and has to compete for 6 minutes long, and so it takes a horse with very strong foundation, good legs, good joints, that it can last. Yeah, and it's also important that you don't overdo things, and that a lot of young horses work too much that they never reach their potential because they did too much when they're young. Yeah.
So when you look at Pharaoh, what do you think are strong points?
Higher. Still around or stand over there. So yeah, you look for his rectangular type. So if I look at him, you know, then you say he has a very kind eye, nice expressive face. Yeah, it's not this wow, really, yeah, fine. But if you look in proportion, it is in proportion with the rest of the body. Yeah. So a very kind eye, nice neck, good open throat latch, nice and long in the poll. Yeah. So it's a horse that's going to be easy to carry himself, easy on the bit, and you should be able to see that pretty soon in movement. Yeah, I think the total picture you can see everything matches together. Very good, strong legs, good cannon bone. Yeah, not dry joints, very good feet, and good connection, very strong connection in the loin, and in proportion the horse is well balanced. Yeah, and so size-wise, you know, Carmen's where as a yearling he was pretty big. If you look at him now, you know, this was just a horse that is early maturing. You know, you see already the length of the leg and the withers are there. So he's not going to be a horse that's going to grow until he is 5 or 6. He'll be sooner finished. So I think the horse will kind of mature at the most at 17 hands. Yeah, so it's not extremely high. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see him move.
Yep. Yeah, but you see when he moves, you know, you see the balance in the horse, the lightness, light-footedness. Yeah, and he trots right away. Yeah? The first step is right away. Self-motivated. Goes even higher after count. So he doesn't get flatter. See, that's true engagement. Yeah, you feel he doesn't speed up. Campo the same, yeah, balance. So balance is one of the most important things, yeah. A horse like this, you can see yourself and say, oh, I can sit on this horse ride, it's going to be a light, easy ride, yeah.
How do you see if a horse has balance or not?
Balance of the horse you read off on the balance of the horse you read off on the steadiness of the head and neck carriage. So you can see the horse carries himself very steady, balanced. When he engages, he doesn't speed up. You see the engagement when he takes off. You see he gets taller. And you feel that he rounds up, yeah? So
Willie, can you comment on this horse's hind leg? What do you like about it?
you can see the balance in the horse, but the hind leg, it's always tracking up. When you look at the hind leg, yeah, you want to see that the stifle is far enough forward. When the stifle is too far back, you're always going to have a pusher. Yeah. You also have to be that you don't have too long of a gasket, yeah, there, yeah, that makes that the hocks always go out, yeah. But this one, he always tracks up, and that's because the stifle is far enough forward, not too long in the gasket, yeah. And then what important is that you have 3 gaits in the horse, yeah. So this for me is a complete horse, yeah. He has good conformation, good character, yeah. I think three complete gaits. Yeah, and it's a horse with presence, personality, Pedigree, and most important also is that conformation is functional. Yeah, you can have a real beautiful horse, but if the mechanics don't work and then it doesn't do any good. Yeah. Yeah, suppleness is something that comes. First, you need to have balance. Yeah, balance in the horse. Then you need to have power. And then when you have a rectangular type horse, yeah, they are usually more supple when they're too square. Yeah, but if you have a supple horse with no power and no balance, yeah, then you don't go anywhere. You have like a horse that is comfortable to sit and maybe very smooth and very light in the bridle, but there is no power. And a lot of times when you have balance and power, yeah, then not so often you will see that you have a stiff horse. Yeah, but the suppleness you you want to have a rectangular body. What's important here is this here. Yeah, so this needs to be wide.
Yeah. The loins.
When the loins are like this, or the loins go down here, this shallow, yeah, that's no strength. But here, this one, you can really see that he's really wide over the top there, yeah. And he's not wide here. He doesn't have a wide barrel, yeah. It's just over there. Yeah. And the walk too, you know. Walk is always a big discussion point, you know. But too big of a walk, yeah, it's not good either, yeah. So too big of a walk, and you a lot of times have not enough collection, yeah. So most important is that you have a clean walk, yeah, pure, yeah. So this is Benicio out of Alaska. Alaska is the mare we talked about earlier. We had several mares out of her, and so this is one of her colts. And Alaska competed at the Young Horse Championship. She also was selected to go to Woerden, and so it's been one of our main brood mares. And so this is a I think very interesting stallion again. With, you can see in conformation, well proportioned, good feet, good strong legs. Yeah, obviously everybody likes the color. You know, that's a big plus. Also again, good character. Yeah, good temperament. Yeah, and in conformation, well proportioned. And then pedigree. So with the pedigree good. Yeah, Benicio is very interesting. Bellissimo has done very well in the dressage and in the breeding. And so here you have a yeah, stallion prospect. Yeah. You also can see the transitions are very easy. Yeah? Same as the other ones, you know, they don't need speed. Anytime you have a horse that needs speed to do a transition, there's usually a pusher. Yeah. Yeah, and it is a little bit a different movement than the other, yeah, but still the same characteristics in the way of balance, elastic. So this yearling colt by Koning out of Alaska. So that is a upcoming foal, and we feel that's a horse that we like to keep on for as a stallion prospect. So we'll look at his movement and then we can discuss more. So important is also the demeanor in the horse. So you can see he's pretty level-headed. He's just pulled away by his friend. So yeah, what we talked earlier, balance. Balance is one of the most important traits. So with movement, balance should speak for itself. Yeah, good use of hind legs, good posture, light-footed. So when you have a stallion, a stallion prospect, you cannot say, "Oh, this is a stallion that fits any mare." You know, you have to have a stallion, in my opinion, of a prospect that you want to present, and it's up to the KWPN, the judges, to select stallions that fit the mare base, yeah, but you can never have a stallion that fits on all mares, yeah. So you need to have a complete horse, I think. Yeah, the chain is only as strong as the weakest link, and then it's up to the mare owner, and then later on you know what the stallion produces, yeah, and the better mare line the stallion comes out of, the more reliable usually his offspring will be, you know, and the reliability of the stallion, younger stallion, goes way up. Yeah. But there are certain characteristics that every riding horse needs to have. Yeah. So then you can say, yeah, I like this or that, but yeah, the ability, the balance, power, 3 complete gaits, yeah, and then yeah, the one is a little taller, the other a little longer, the other one has different characteristics for character, and those are all things that can change. But at the end of the day, they all need to go down the same center line. Yeah, and they all judged the same on the performance. Yeah, so. Okay, so it's a little bit of dates that we write down when anything is happening, you know, the thing. These are the foals for next year. 8 of them, 8 of them are ours. The other ones are from clients that are gonna come out to foal. So, and they're not always staying here then for the foal, but they will be here for the time.
For the foaling.
Foaling part, yeah. So, but that is plenty, yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. Yeah, so, but 8 of ours, and so we have. They did a double embryo transfer, so those by Vitalis, Bordeaux, painted black. This one is from a client. This is Jazz Contango, in foal to Vitalis. That's a Grand Prix horse. It's from a client. It's Nova Bria. It's a Charmeur of a Eidicus out of a Charmeur Mare, and then Valeska. It's a horse that's coming in. It's Julea, so that's Charmeur Eidicus from Janice Kissel. And we'll look at her foal now. Cambria is Jazz Eidicus Valeska. Bolumbria is now from a client, so it's in foal. Darcy is the mother from Koning. Has competed at FEI level, is now in foal to El Primo, also then for a client now. Hannah is a horse that is our foal coming, and she is by Don Tango, and then Sandro Hit, and then a full sister of Don Schufro. Fembria is, we'll see a yearling from him. From her is also the mother from the Eidicus you saw, from the Totulas.
Okay.
The Totulas mare you just saw.
Yeah.
So she's out of her. Satina back in foal to Contango, of Koning, and is 21 years old. Yeah. And this is El Primo out of embryo out of Macana. And Macana Bria is Rock Forever, Bellissimo, and then Valeska. So they're all related, yeah. So this little bit list, so you see here, Koning, El Primo, those are usually 5 days a week for sure. And these are all young horses or 4 or 5 year olds. Yeah, and so I mark in the morning which horses I do, and here are the horses that I do on the side that other people also ride. And people that come for lessons, I write the names down here. So when one is done, mark them off. Amber gets, sometimes whoever has time, get the next one ready, and so it just kind of rotates the whole day. Ashlyn has her list, yeah, and then the 3-year-olds we do together with Tamara. Like if I need to hold them, I usually hold them the first couple of times on the lunch line, and then once they're on the lunch line, okay, then I go usually 3, and so yeah, you just do it all together, and yeah, that's
Works great.
that's a list. That works. It's simple, and yeah, that's just a list of the stalls and the horses in the pasture. So.
Nice.
So if you add them all up, I think yeah we have probably I didn't do that 26. So but probably around 50, 55 horses I think total.
And that's what you usually have. It's
Yeah.
normal. That's the normal one. Yeah.
60. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so these are fillies from last year. The chestnut is by El Primo. Lyric, and Lyric is Al Capone, and then Contester, and, Uniform, and the other one is Koning, that's number 4, Koning Julea, so Charmeur Eidicus.
But do you also offer like young horse board if someone
Yep.
wants to board their horse with you?
Yeah, we have several horses boarded here, young horses from clients.
Oh, that's good.
So I think that's very important that they are handled a lot. You know, you can see they are very easy to handle, and that is a huge benefit when they're 3 years old to get started. Yeah.
So Willy, who are this?
So the bay one was the second place horse in the futurity. Yeah, is Koning Jazz Idicus Valeska, and the other one is Koning Bellissimo Valeska. So the Bellissimo taxi.
Okay,
This is
Willy. Who is this?
This is Koning Winton 007.
So you also bred him, right?
Yeah. The grandmother is a Grand Prix horse, and then the same Mare line has produced several horses that won the FEI Young Horse thing. So it's a.
Will he stay a stallion too?
No, this one
Oh,
is
he's already a
gelding.
gelding. Oh, yeah.
But that's also a good move.
Yeah.
What he misses just for Stallion, just a little bit the blood, and could be a little bit more correct in his front feet. You can see that
Yep.
front legs a little bit towed in.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a super riding horse.
Yeah. So he is still owned by you now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So who are these, Willy?
Okay, so we have two-year-olds. One is Koning Idicus Valeska, so Idicus Craxi, and the other one is Koning Charmeur Idicus, and that's again a full sister to the black filly that was third place in the futurity. The mother from the bay filly that you just saw over there, and the black one is the mother from the bay filly that you just saw here, and is also the mother from the black filly that you saw over there. Yeah, and they're both back and forth. this is Fembria, this Aedicus of Aedicus Velasca, and behind her is Dalina, who is Jazz Contango, and she's in foal to Vitalis, and she is also the mother from the Chestnut filly, and she's back in foal to Coney.
So you bred Satina, right?
Yeah.
But did you import her mother, or did
Yeah.
you also? Yeah.
We imported the mother as a 3-year-old, and the mother had, I think, 12 foals here and competed up to 4th level, and she was, I think, still competing when she was 24. So yeah, it's a very
Strong line.
strong line, yeah. And she was with Pantheon, so she was Pantheon buyout, so there was half thoroughbred, and then Contango, so she's for a Contango mare, very light and elegant, yeah. And Thea, that is then the grandmother from this filly, so it's the mother from Julia. She was a FEI horse, as we showed her for Janice Kissel for many years. It was a super fun horse to ride, you know, super attitude, you know, always working. And Janice rode her, I mean, I think now she's like Thea, so she's probably like 21 or so, 22. But yeah, that one just goes all the time. Same as the young colts, you know, they just take off first step, you know, boom.
So Willy, how did that line get here?
Yeah, they got established. Janice bought the horse Hanneke here, and Hanneke was, as a 3-year-old, was Wandroy, and then out of a mare by Noran. And the Noran mare was a very good mare, produced many good horses. It also started the breeding business from Siggy Bells. She bought the mare Cadence by us, and Cadence was by Wandroy, out of a mare by Volkmar, and then Noran. Yeah, and that also is the same line as where Amy Miller's horse Angkor comes from. Yeah, and so, but the Wandroy mare out of Tolinda, the Noran mare, produced by Aedicus, the mare Thea, and then Thea became sport elite, Keur, competed at Prix St. George, I won, and she has produced Baccara, who was is now Grand Prix by Sir Sinclair, and then she has produced Indea and Julia, both by Charmeur, and then out of the Baccara mare, we have had 2 foals that were by Vitalis, and they were bred by Gundy Younger, and those are both now very competitive horses. Yeah? And so it's a very productive line, very good rideability, and so it's that's what it takes, you know. And then that doesn't mean that you get every year a good one, but the chance is for sure bigger.
Yeah. So Willy, can you tell me something about the stallion Wandroy? Because that's one of the stallions you brought over here, right?
Yeah, Wandroy was already purchased before I came here. So I came here in '84, and June '84, and Wandroy arrived here in March of '84. But Wandroy was improved in Holland through the herkeuringscommittee, so to a committee that judges the horses that go through an appeals committee. Yeah. So he was 4 years old and competed here at FEI level. Yeah, but Van Rooij was a very dominant stallion. You know, he stamped his offspring as foals, and Van Rooij is out of the same mare line as Apache. Yeah, Van Rooij was a very dominant stallion, very pretty, and stamped his offspring here, especially in those days when the breeding here was just started, you know, and that is 37, 38 years ago. He bred many thoroughbreds, quarter horses, and he really turned the horse around in one generation. Yeah, and we had another stallion here, Volkmar. He was very good. He finished in Holland third in the performance test, and he was by Apgar, so was half thoroughbred. So for him it was a lot harder to produce. He produced some really nice horses, but also if you put the Volkmar on a thoroughbred mare, it was very
More thoroughbred. Yeah.
yeah, more thoroughbred, and was not as dominant, you know.
No.
So,
Okay.
but no, Van Rooij was very good. Yeah.
And which other stallions did you import from the Netherlands?
Import, we didn't. We got the next stallion that we got approved here was Contester.
Okay.
He was by Contender. And then the other stallion, the next one was Gaspard, who was by Ravel. And then now Koning and
El Primo.
El Primo. Yeah, and then we'll see. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's, okay, so that's a 3-year-old gelding by Hennessy, out of a mare by Painted Black. Same mother line as Koning. And so it's 3 years old and was sold as a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old, and now we got him started. So Tamara started him out with lunging. So he lunges. What's important in the lunging is that the horse goes to the bit and that the horse maintains the contact with the lunge line. Yeah? There, then even though the horse is a little bit bent to the outside, look to the outside, that's not so much a concern. As long as you feel that the horse goes to the bit, tempo is not running. I'd rather see him there with the nose in front of the vertical than when they go over round. Yeah, so it's important that the horses, that they learn this and that they already learn voice command. Yeah, and that you can make the circle bigger and smaller. So now you can make the circle a little smaller. And then the horse learns already to maintain contact, steering, now circle bigger. You see the balance stays the same. The balance you read off on the steadiness of the head and neck, so it's nice and steady. Now you pick up the canter, so you use your voice. And then you use a different command for canter than you use for trot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, and if your horse learns already the voice command canter, then when you ride him, when you go on him, the horse will listen to that when you sit on him, you know. So it's an easy tool to do that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's good. So, but it is pretty much every horse knows before we mount the horse. Yeah, and then we mount the horse. I usually hold him. In this case, Tamara or Ashlyn, they go on, and then we just do walk trot a couple times, and then they can go off the lunge line, and then they no steering, no contact, and it's usually all uneventful. Yeah. Okay, so on the on the chestnut is Caitlin with Gaembria. Gaembria won as a 4-year-old Gert van der Veen award, and is now 10 years old. And Caitlin will be showing him this year, probably 4th level. Yeah, the horse had 4 foals and was shown and ridden by Aston as a 4-year-old, and then she had 2 foals. Then I rode her for a couple of years, and then she had 2 foals again, and now she's ready to do her career in riding, and So they will be Caitlin's first show year on this one. Yeah. So just go straight Caitlin, and I think you can see on this horse the connection, the balance, the outline. Yeah, it's an easy ride. Horse is forward thinking. Yeah, and the two horses that you see here, yeah, the mother from Caitlin's horse, Gaindria, is the grandmother from Nebria, the one Ashlyn is on. The one Ashlyn is on is by Tortulas, and then Eidicus, and then Velasca, just the Craxi mare. So, and she is now coming 5, and will be doing the FEI 5-year-olds next year. Robert Tamara, Caitlin, Ashlyn are the 3 riders we have together. We do the riding, showing, start the young ones, whatever needs to be done riding wise, yeah, and then like I said earlier, Caitlin takes care of the collection, all the shipping, the horse showing, yeah. Ashlyn rides the most horses, yeah, especially hopefully after she has the baby, you get back, yeah, so, but it's due in February, so I think it's already very good that she's still able to ride at this point. So, and Tamara has shown us when she was younger in the FEI young horses, young riders, and now she's planning on getting back into it. Yeah. So they all have, as part of DG Bar, yeah, they have part ownership in a horse, and they can do breeding. So then we keep part ownership, and then so then when the horse sells, then it's a nice extra opportunity to build something up and develop your own horse. So you can see Gabriel, she still had the foal last year, so she foal was just been weaned in October, so she's getting fit already. Yeah? So once you start riding and when they have a foal and stuff, you know, then they can come back pretty quick. Eh? So but I think in the outline and our philosophy, or whatever you want to call that, but our training system is where the horses, yeah, go balanced from behind to the bit, yeah, relaxed, yeah, and friendly to ride. They're self-motivated horses. All the mothers from these horses have competed. Yeah, the mother from their horse was selected for Woerden as a 6-year-old for the US. The mother from the Hennessy was Prince George, and the mother from Nebria was reserve champion in the FEI 4-year-olds in Chicago. And again, I think you see the balance movers, yeah, and they have 3 paces, yeah, so you can maybe show a little bit the walk. So the walk is very important. Walk is more a checkpoint for yourself. If the walk is clean and your horse is relaxed, then your work in the trot and in the canter is being correct. Yeah. So if you have a spectacular trot and canter, but by the time you get to the walk, your horse is not walking relaxed and clear and has a clear rhythm, yeah, then your work in the trot or canter has not been correct, yeah, unless your horse has naturally a bad walk. So if your horse or yourself, you can always check if your work has been honest, and you check that in the walk, yeah. Yeah, and then you can do a few more changes of tempo, Caitlin, in the trot. Here you can see by Tamara's horse, yeah, 3 years old, balanced canter, yeah. Nothing changes, yeah, everything is the same. Yeah, and here Ashton's horse, a lot of expression in the gates there, huge front leg. You can a little bit see in what the young horses did on the lunch line, that the same ability to come back, yeah, to get up in the withers. Yeah, and forward, Caitlin, not too long. Just small transition, yeah, yep. Oh yeah, 2 steps and then out. All right. Up and out, up, out, up. Yeah, good. Oh yeah, and back again. And out. Oh yeah. But you feel, yeah, there is a power, yeah. So and then the horses you pretty much start today are all homebred horses, yeah, all born here, all sort of related. So and then you, after that many years, or yeah, not that many years, but the last, say, 15, 20 years, you come closer and closer to your goal, your breeding goal. Yeah? Yeah, keep him going enough, actually. Or walk, yeah, oh yeah, good. There you see Ashton's horse as a super walker, really big front leg, front and back are equal, so yeah, doesn't hurry up. Yeah, he really covers more ground, but he does not speed up in the gait. Yeah?
So I like a lot about this horse. She, first of all, I think she's very complete. She has 3 good gaits, walk, trot, canter. She has really good work ethic, and every time you ride her, she tries really hard, and I think that's really important in a dressage horse, in any horse really, that they have a good work ethic, and always when you pick them up that they want to go and they're ready to try. She tries really hard, and I think the gaits kind of speak for themselves. They're pretty, I think they're pretty fantastic.
So yeah, Gainbria is sort of a new horse to me, so it's been a really fun experience to bring her back after she had a foal last year. And what I really enjoy about her is that she's super self-motivated, and she has a lot of power, and she really has the ability to adjust within the gaits, which allows for me to learn how to move up to the next level with her. And it's been a really fun experience and a great opportunity to be able to ride a horse that's so talented, and I look forward to our future.
Okay. Yeah, and it's also for like the horse is now 11, so if she rides him and later on she wants to do an embryo or whatever, you always have that option too. And if she likes the breeding, so that's an extra opportunity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is Nino coming for this spring.
and I in the past have ridden his mother, so she had really good rideability, and that's what I could feel in this horse also. The good rideability, super character. I mean, he's just honest as can be. He has energy to go, but yet safe at the same time. 3 really good gaits, comfortable to sit. So yeah, there's a lot of good things to say about him. Just really enjoy riding him, and yeah, super comfortable. It gives you a good place to sit and lots of power.
Okay, so this is the now coming 4-year-old new adventure, the Don Schufro. So ready, hopefully, for the FEI Young Horse, and would have been presented for the licensing. Yeah, so pretty much basic training. Yeah, where the horse goes in natural balance, all 3 gaits. Yeah, and should be able to develop strength, more balance, and to develop his potential. Yeah, as a 4-year-old, I think each horse should learn to really be balanced, carry himself, develop the connection from behind over the back to the bit, and then that's all you want to make it more spectacular and stuff. That, to me, that comes after the horse is 5 and you have collection. Yeah, and so according to the training scale, then that's where the horse should go, and the horse should have confidence, be relaxed and willing to go to work. Yeah, and most important too is to keep all 3 gaits clear, yeah, and natural. Yeah, and also the word dressage is not how big the mover is. Dressage stands for training. So the trainability, rideability is very important in a horse. Yeah, and the more uphill movement and more collection comes through that. Yeah. So I'll just ride him for walk, trot, canter, and in a frame where a coming 4-year-old I think should be working.
Okay, so this is Oscar. Oscar is a 3-year-old stallion that will this year will be presented, and we were talking about mares that are interesting for breeding. So the model for this from this one is Valeska, and so the mare line on Valeska is very interesting because of her own performance. So very promising mare line from the stallion's voice, and the stallion 007 are all out of that mare line, and then also the Sweden approved stallion Woerden and Anna Beal. So I'll show you a little bit what we do first. We just lunge in. Yeah, very simple, uncomplicated, and then we'll show a little bit walk top cannon. He's only been under saddle after lunchtime maybe a couple times, so it's all still pretty green, but we also still have till September before he needs to be ready to be presented. So lunging is not just to let the horse get some energy. Lunging is like riding, yeah? So you like to see that the horse is balanced, the horse goes nicely through the contact, yeah, and already follows the hand of the rider. The horse needs to learn to be self-motivated. So here in this horse you see nice balance in the horse. Yeah, and it's also important in the saddle that for me then that you have side gains. If you do it like this, then the horse has to reach for the contact and go through the gate. And also has also the opportunity in case something goes wrong or the foot, you have the range just come behind to it, and it didn't make the horse feel stuck. Yeah?
So Willy, can you tell us a little bit more about the NASST, the North American Stallion Sport Test?
Yeah, we participated this year for the second time. First time was 2 years ago when we did it with Koning, and I was really impressed with the format. I think it is a format that is affordable, it's practical, it's realistic, and it is actually resembles the KWPN-NA requirements exactly. Yeah, by the KWPN-NA, your stallion can become licensed after they do one time the IBOC test and the DG Bar Cup, and then they need to do it again the following year or a year later, so it's two times. And the sport test is a little bit the same, you know, they need to do it twice in a row as a 4 and a 5-year-old. And it's based upon performance, and it's done in 3 days. Yeah, and so what the judges they use are very knowledgeable judges that also judge in Germany, the young horse, sport horse classes and everything. They have also judges there from each breed association, so that if there are the stallions have to be licensed by a organization, but if any of the other organizations see the stallion at the test and they like to add him to them, then you have the option to present the horse right there for different stud books. You know? So it's very practical, and I think it's good that it's on the East Coast and the West Coast, so you don't need to travel with your stallions all the way across country. And it's good that the stallion gets presented by the person who rides the horse all the time, and so it gives it as a realistic picture. And so I think it's a positive development. And but the key thing, I think, it's practical, it's affordable, and it is real. You know, the judges, the system, the way they explain it, and the requirements, the scoring is very much right there.
They have the test riders too, right?
They have test riders too, yeah, on the last day, yeah, and they have a great impact, and so it's exactly what they do in Europe, you know, and but I think over here the 70-day or the 100-day test and then the 70-day test, you know, they created a lot of problems, and it was too expensive, and by now we pretty much know that it doesn't take that long to figure out the talent and the ability in a horse. You know, you can identify it a lot sooner, and so I think this way is very good. And then and I've suggested that to the Hanoverian organization and the Oldenburg too, that it is a great opportunity, to hear as breeders, in North America, not to be Dutch breeder or Hanoverian or Oldenburg, but that we say, okay, we'll all try to breed and bring the sport horses in North America to a higher level. That if we have this stallion sport test, that we have also a presentation from young stock, from mares or foals or whatever it is, but that each association can select 3 or 5 horses for each side, just on the West Coast and on the East Coast, and then just have like a presentation, not a competition, who's winning or whatever, but just that each association represents 3 or 5 horses that there, so that it makes it prestigious for the owners and for the breeders, and it's affordable. It makes the event even bigger. There are probably not going to be that many stallions every year, so it makes the event bigger and more competitive, and it unifies the breeds. You still keep your own characteristics for a Dutch horse, the same for a Hanoverian or Oldenburg, yeah, and it's a real opportunity to meet together and that everybody can see, open their eyes and go to one event and say, okay, here I can meet different breeders, you can communicate, you can see the horses, and it's a great opportunity for each association to promote their part of it, and that's what makes it better. Competition makes things better. Yeah, if there is no prestige or no competition, yeah, then the value goes down. You know, you can call yourself whatever you want to. If there is no competition, it has no value. Sure, but if everybody goes there, and I think then, yeah, and then so I'm a really I would support it 200% to keep developing this. Yeah, and
This
I think
concept.
it has a lot of potential and.
Yeah,
And I hope that the KWPN Holland supports it, you know, that they stand behind it and that they see it as an added value and as a great opportunity to showcase the horses and so.
Yeah, we on the board hopefully next year we will be able to bring judges from the KWPN over to participate in it. We had hoped to do it this year, but with COVID restrictions, we were not able to do so. But the KWPN is interested in the program and they would like to see the value of it. So I think Willy's a good representative for that. And like you say, this year we hope we will be participating in it with our own judges also.
It's in October, right?
Yes, on both coasts.
On both coasts.
Yes.
October, November, yeah.
Yes, because the past year we were planning to get them in.
Yes,
so,
we had planned on participating, or at least sending judges over, and with the COVID restrictions, we were unable to. And the other registries were unable to bring judges over also. So it was a little bit of a different format this year, where I believe there were judges watching the horses go in Europe on a virtual type of deal, and then you had judges on the ground there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, that was not ideal, but
No.
it's better than nothing, and it's good that they had it. You know, it's, you got to make the best of it, and you can also. So I think, but I was.
So and who are you bringing in October then? Are you bringing stallions in October?
Yeah, you know, to the testing.
Yeah.
For sure. Al Primo, he did this year, so he has to do one more time.
Yeah.
Koning is finished, so he passed it, and then Woerden Arts, if any of the other stallions. The stallion has to be 4 years old,
licensed, right?
And licensed.
Yeah.
So, and I did make that request that they should open it up for 3-year-olds. You know, if you have a nice 3-year-old stallion that gets licensed by the KWPN in September, you know, if you talk about Dutch horse, and if you then can go in October to this test, you know, it's the same amount. You just a couple of weeks more to the horse be ready for it. Yeah, they don't ask more than exactly that. So if you're a small breeder and you say, okay, I have a really nice stallion and you get licensing, and so then you go right away there, or here on the West Coast, East Coast, then you have another step, and then it could be an option that other breeds who are there, they say, oh, well, we like your horse, can we, if you like to present him for us, we like to
license him too.
License him too. So then you do everything, and it's, like I said, it becomes practical, educational, and the only thing that is always shortage of is education, and education is something that it's hard to come by, and if you can do it like this, it just makes it efficient and a lot less work for everybody. And each organization can have call breeders and say, okay, well, we want to learn more about this or that, and they can invite them, go over there, and then they know they're going to have a classy event with top horses, top judges, use the influence from the judges that are there from Europe, and it's just a great opportunity
To gain a lot of knowledge at an event.
And to see a lot of nice horses.
and then you anytime you go to events, yeah, and we talked about having the annual meeting there too. It's just because if you go there and you meet different breeders, you hear some new stuff, some new ideas, yeah, and otherwise you run out of new ideas, and then you say, oh yeah, I've been there, I did there last year, you know, I'm gonna skip, you know. But if you stay on top of it, then you keep people curious, and anytime a breeder goes home with something, with more knowledge, something that she or he didn't know before that, yeah, they will be eager to come back the following year, you know. So education is it's not the location, it's not the weather type, it's not if you have fancy restaurants, it's not if you go see a fancy barn. It is what you learn and that you can take home and that you say, wow, that was,
Enriched my life with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And all the other stuff you can do, you don't need to buy a plane ticket. It doesn't cost somebody pretty much around $2,000 to go to an annual meeting if you have a little bit of distance to travel. Yeah, fare and blah blah blah. So that it's fine to spend, but you don't need to do that just for a nice dinner or a nice fun evening or whatever, or that it's nice weather. Yeah.
You say combine it with an event like that, and then you have everything all in one.
But that was the goal to
Yeah.
do it last year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
but then if the KWPN flag should be out there, and the stallions that have been represented there from the KWPN, the curing first.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stallion. Koning then, and also the other one who's now competing at Grand Prix. But they both did the test, yeah, and they both scored on the top, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that the selection criteria of the KWPN, yeah, it's good, you know. It's not like, oh yeah, we score them higher, no. But it's also that the judges from over there, they recognize the quality too,
yeah.
and they didn't knock them because they're Dutch horses. No, they scored them.
For being a quality horse.
Yeah, harvest, stallion harvest.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, good. We hope that we can discuss that for the future
Yeah, hopefully we can have
to combine it.
next
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Or actually
Great.
this year, I should say.
Yeah, this year in October. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Willy, for everything today.
Yeah.
I think we gained a lot of knowledge and saw very passionate people at work.
Yes.
Very passionate
Yeah,
horses.
like I said, it's DG Bar is a unique facility and unique situation where family work together and try to do the best we can and within our needs and develop. And what is nice about it is that the time you spend with training riders and also you have also you right away invest in the future. It's not like, oh, it's for a year or 2 years and they're going to be gone and then you have another rider to develop. No, you develop and they get better and better and they stay, you know. So it's a long-term investment, so it's worth that you then also keep horses. And so I hope that pretty soon they go on with the stallions. Obviously, they pretty soon when they're ready to do FEI, and you hope the Ashling goes on with it, and we have young ones coming up and keep it going. Yeah, and so that's our goal, and it's breeding you do, and you don't not in it for the money, you know, you're in it because you like it, and if you do it well, then you get the right horses that I probably normally wouldn't be able to afford to go buy, you know. So then you feel good, and then you can enjoy also the work. Yeah, if you sell them right away, then the horse goes, and it's nice if somebody else does well with him. But if you raise him, you breed him, and then you get to ride him again, and like here you started say with Alaska, and then you have some offspring, and then that goes good, and then you see Caitlin picks up a horse and that goes good, and Ashlyn has a 4-year-old, so it's all related and it just gets better and better. So and you
So that's what I like about the whole equestrian. Yeah, I like giving lessons too, you know, but just lessons is a little bit narrow, you know. So, but lessons, breeding, trading, showing, the whole kit and caboodle, you know.
The whole package.
Yeah.
Well, great, Willy. Thank you very much. And thank you, Anna, for joining us too today for this barn interview.
Willy and your group here, you always are so hospitable and
Yeah.
just make us feel so welcome. We really appreciate all the work you did. That was
Yeah,
Fantastic.
no, it's been a pleasure, and we're honored to be part of it, and so we look forward to the meeting, and look forward to our next year's Fall Cup, and keep on going.
Yep.
So,
Thank you.
thank you.
you're welcome. Yep.